Hello and welcome to the next upload from Legoland California. Now, this land can only be described as the best bits from Legoland Windsor, Billund and Dubai from their sort of Lego City section of the park, and it's all been merged into one huge area, and they've called it Funtown because they don't actually have a Lego City area, but they have a Funtown. So from the left hand side is your little driving school. To the right hand side you have got the fire brigade bit. That's where obviously you pump the bits and pieces and you get all the water out, and that's where you go racing against each other. But this also has loads and loads of different walkthrough attractions with loads and loads of different models, big shops, huge eatery. But the food, which is this bit just here where it's the Funtown's urban kitchen, is a mix of the Lego house as well as just a normal kitchen, because they have all different models on display. So it was amazing to walk in and see. You could sit down, you can have a look at all of these different dioramas. They've got all different bits and pieces in. This to me is exactly what all the other Legoland should be doing, having different bits and pieces on display and just showing you what is available to buy all around the park. Some of it was custom bits, some of it had massive modular displays, so we're going to have a look at all of it as we walk around, and then we will take another look. We'll carry on taking a look at the rest of this land, because each area at Legoland California is quite large, and then there'll be sneak peeks and snippets of what else is to come in much greater detail, because within the section of this land you've got a walkthrough attraction, you've got a Lego factory, and there's something else as well which we'll be having a look at as we go around, and I put little snippets of what is to come. So what we are looking at now is obviously all of the big models that are on display. We're going to be having a look at these for the next couple of minutes. You can just see how big that Harry Potter castle is when it is completely all done and built. Loads of tables and chairs around. I did this before lunch, so I managed to get around and just see everything, which is absolutely fine. I would never have done this with all of these people around, because you wouldn't have been able to walk around the cabinets, because these cabinets go everywhere. So all the sets from the Lego Movie World, or Lego Movie 2 film, shall I say, which is really, really nice to see, because I've not actually seen the Apocalypseburg on display for years. Actually, I've only ever seen it once on display, and that was at Legoland Windsor, because that was a very, very short run film. Again, you've got some more of the sets that were out and about from the film, so obviously they're trying to show you all the different bits and pieces that are in that land. And then as you're coming up, you have got one of these sets on the left hand side. I do believe that this Benny spaceship is actually going to be discontinued at the end of 2023. So in 2024, I do believe potentially we're going to get a full CMF pack of the classic Lego space characters. So if you want yourself a classic Benny ship or a Benny spaceship, it might be worth having a look at, because obviously that ship that we've just seen is from the classic space range, and it'd be interesting to see what all the other minifigures look around it. Now, again, I was saying that this is very similar to the Lego house. You've got a lot of wooden displays. This is the first ever time I've seen anybody do a display of original Lego sets, because obviously they used to be wood in the 1950s, as you can see, putting it with modern day and age. I think this looks so good. I've not slowed any of it down, because the video is already 14 minutes long, so hopefully if you need to, you're just going to have to pause it and see. But you can see you've got the classic wooden car with the bigger car, and they've done that all over the place, and it's just really nice to see what they've done. You know, when they did this in all of the bigger shops, what they did to make it nice and easy, they actually showed you the different bits and pieces that were actually in the display, so you can work out exactly how much money that would be. And you can see you've got the classic, very old police station just there, and then as you come up, you've got some other little bits and pieces for the Duplo police station. So this is probably one of the better displays I've ever seen at one of the Legoland parks. They've got the stuff absolutely everywhere. So obviously I'm going to start with dessert. Then you've got all the big bells, you've got all the big Lego models, and they just wrap around all around the other tables. And I didn't go too far in, because obviously everybody was eating, so I left those bits. But you can just have to imagine all of these little models that are dotted about. But I think we picked up some of the bigger ones just here. And you can see how it works. You can just go around, you've got food of the world. Basically pick what you want and then just sit down on all the tables and chairs, and there's loads and loads of seating area outside as well. Now we have got some things that I do believe, if you are a Star Wars fan, I think you're going to like these next two. So yes, you've got the band, the Cantina band. These did look very, very good. Now obviously these aren't for sale. This is a custom display done by a Lego person. Potentially, maybe they might have also been used, or having ideas of being used from their walkthrough attraction, and they've just scaled it much, much bigger, because they did used to have a large outdoor mini land for Star Wars, and then obviously that all got pulled. But this is just from what I do believe members of the public. And then we've got this one up here. Now there's a lot going on with this one as well. So you've got the window looking through with Darth Vader, and then as you pan round, you can you're just gonna have to get rid of the glare somehow and just look exactly what we're looking at. But it is into a big box, and you can see what he is looking at. So you have got the spaceship in there, you've got the X-Wing going down the tunnel. There's a lot going on with this, and you can see just how deep that box is on the right-hand side. And then with this as well, you've got the nice frog, and then you've got all sorts of other little bits and pieces going on with regards to all the nice water. You've got the piano down at the bottom. You've got this cool looking thing, which is sort of like a dinosaur. I guess it is a dinosaur, which is a very, very heavily themed section within Legoland California, and potentially it'd be interesting to see if they are going to be expanding that area with the work that they're currently doing, which you'd have seen in the Lego Movie 2 video. So what I'm doing with all of these Legoland California videos, they're all in the different zones, and then within each zone there's like a walkthrough attraction that will be filmed separately, and then but at the very, very end of the sort of park visit, I will just do one massive video. So if you want to watch everything, including a lot of footage that wouldn't have made these little cuts of me walking down different paths and checking out all the other different models, because there would have been about 25% more footage, I would imagine, you're going to have to wait for that over the next up and coming weeks. But that video, I think, is going to be very, very long, because every single land is absolutely massive. So you can see what they've done with these modulars. So they've customized their own black road around this one, super simple, and they've just wrapped it all the way around the outside, which I think looks very effective. And they've just put some little checkers plates down just for the minifigures to cross over, and they've just added lots of different bits and pieces. You can see that you've got the light grey with the black, and each one of those is obviously in its own unit, and this is behind the modulars as well. So that is the assembly square. So they've just made it double deep, and then you've got all going around the outside. Up on this one, you've just got the half a shelf, and you can see up on that one, I do believe that is the back of the library. And then coming across on this side, they've done all of this effort with all of this, with the bright stuff. So it's worth, when you're coming in, before you place your order, and if you can, just walk around the cabinets like I am, because that is super effective. They've just used all the different tiles in a different way. They've got the 1x2s and the 2x2 tiles, and also you've got the big shark, just a random thing. And yes, that is the back of a Harry Potter set. So that is what that was. And then when we have a look at the front, it's just something different I've not seen before with regards to giving the sets more depth. So these are all, they are, actually it's Diagon Alley, which is a set that I have. So it's something that I could potentially do and potentially display that way, because you can see how it just opened it all up. So you've got the nice way at the front. Now the car, that blue car that we're looking at now, that has actually just been announced for a January 2024 release. So if you did like the look of the car outside the front of it, you will be able to buy that separately. You can see that you've got the Lego store there. Don't think that is a custom build. It looks like it is. I think they might put more, I think they put a couple of those together. And you can see what they've done with this. They put more different bits and pieces of the Diagon Alley set with the obviously the books, and then they've got all sorts of different bits and pieces going. There's a lot to soak in and take a look at this. And yes, they have done some of their own custom designs as well, which you know that corner unit is obviously a custom one, which they put right beside the assembly square. And then they've used the Speed Champions in front of it. They've made the Dyna car a little bit more sporty, because you can see that they changed the bonnet on that, and then they just put that generic taxi out the front, which, to be fair, actually seeing that out there works. I think that looks really effective. You can see they've actually added a couple of them. So I think I'm going to have to get some New York taxis. They're not minifigure scale, because they are under the Lego Creator range. You can't fit a minifigure in it, I don't think. If that is the taxi that I think it is, but I think they do look very smart, because obviously you did get one with the Daily Bugle, and then you've got that new monstrosity with the Avengers Tower as well. But that is the urban kitchen. You can see just how clean this park is. So we are just going to carry on walking down and just soak in all the other models and all the other different bits and pieces that are in there. So that is a driving school. So like I said, they've taken the best of everything, I think, from Billund, Windsor and Dubai, added all the different rides in here, and they've put their own twist on it with this eatery, with obviously all the models on there, which I really like. So if they had just done that and then just basically had it for like the smaller ones with all the other bits and pieces and the rides, I would have been, yep, perfect. But as I started walking across, there's a big Christmas display that we're going to be having a look at. There is a very special model to the left hand side. Now this is, well, it's a little hint, it's got a duck in the model's maker's hand. So if you don't know who that is, then I won't spoil it for you too much. But if you do a little bit of history with regards to sort of, I don't know, maybe the founder of the Lego group. That might be who that is a tribute to. Then from there you have got Rebuild the World, which is in the Planet Lego, and now this is what the inside the Rebuild the World looks like. This will be coming in its own video. There's lots and lots of models all dotted around the outside, and you've got all these play bins and things like that. This is what has... I have to get the Loot roller coaster now. Look at what they have done to this. They have staggered the red coaster and the Loot one. The red coaster has got grey bits of tracking to break the red up. Your eyes go directly to those two pieces. I think it looks absolutely outstanding. And what they've done is that they've added the Legoland exclusive sets into that as well. There is a lot going on with that. Now, like I said, this is just a snippet of what is available here, and we will have a much better look at this in a completely different video, and it will be slowed down. Now, this is the fascia. This is the next building next door to this. This is actually part of an attraction on the inside. This is the thing I really do like about sort of the Lego group, where if the rides are really big on the inside, they put all different types of fascias on the outside, and they put lots of different models and dotted everywhere. This was probably the most Lego model heavy park, I think. Billund is very, very good. Billund's up there. I need to revisit the one in Germany because I know they've got a lot of new bits and pieces in there. But by far, this has a lot more models than Windsor. But they do seem to be adding more and more building areas, more and more sort of adult things to sort of have a look at as well, and a lot of children things as well. Obviously, that's what it's all about. Now, these things look brand new. They were very, very good. Don't forget all of these bits and pieces are outside. But what I mean by sort of more older attractions here is I thought, right, you're just going to go in there. You can have your bite to eat if you want to, and just have a look at some of those models. They have the Rebuild the World section, which is obviously very, very popular with the little ones and the bigger ones alike. But they have a Lego factory tour here. Now, the Lego factory tour that they've got here is how you build the brick, and it goes through, but it is the best one that I have seen so far because they have all of the retired Legoland models on display from the last 20 odd years, so you can see everything up on the shelves. That is going to be a full walkthrough attraction as well. That is the kind of thing that I really like looking at, and I really like looking at all the different building techniques. You can see there is a Mr. Gold at the front as well, so that is a different thing. There was a hunt for the Mr. Gold Lego minifigure. I'm not 100% sure that was all about, because obviously that figure retired a long, long time ago. So Lego Factory, every fascia that we've just walked around is for this tour. So you can see a retired Lego mold, 120 million Lego bricks was made just from that. You can see how it works. I've only ever seen them underground with plexiglass. I've never been able to see it in person like that before. You've got all of the different rooms, so you follow the process through. So very similar with regards to how you follow the process through in Dubai, but they have actually got a lot of working machinery here. So again, this full tour will be nice and slow, but they have got models everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. We've got all these facts, everything to have a look at. This will be in its own video, much, much slower. Otherwise, just this video alone with all of the different bits and pieces would have been about an hour. So like I said, this is going to be a very, very large video when it comes to a full-blown walkthrough attraction. Now, you've got all of these amazing models as well. We will go back to the Christmassy ones, but you've got 3 or 4 big models dotted around. It's just really nice that you have all these. You can sit down, you've got all these benches, you've got bits and pieces in the shade, you've got bits and pieces in the sun if you want to. And obviously this is more the meet and greet for... They're still in the process of getting, I do believe, all the bits and pieces set up for Christmas itself, because this was the week before the schools broke up. So I would imagine that all the models would have been in by now, and this might have a little bit more decorative pieces around. So if you have been over the winter special season, please do let me know. Now, directly in front of us, I had no idea what that Adventures Club was. I just thought, well, it's just going to be a like a little shop or something. No, a huge walkthrough attraction with loads of games on the inside, all to do with the adventure theming. So then I thought, well, there's not now going to be a laser shooter, which is traditionally at every single Legoland park. No, they had one of those as well. So look at this. This is just some of the area that you're in. The sound effects are amazing. You've got all the dripping water. Again, this is going to be its own full standalone video. It's a really nice walkthrough attraction. It's amazing, actually, just the amount of models that are in there. And I spent a good time in there just looking around. I really do appreciate that kind of thing. And yes, that is a water park a little bit further back that was actually closed at the time because obviously it's out of season. And there's like a Duplo Water World, and then there's a big Shima one there. That is the other half of the big ride as well. That does look very, very effective. We do have a look at the big shop just here. That will be attached to the walkthrough attraction, because obviously when you leave the walkthrough attraction, you just go into there. But obviously that is just basically a mix of generic clothing from maybe sponsors that they've got, and they've got one or two sort of Lego t-shirts and things like that. But guys, that is it. I am done. Hope you've enjoyed the little tour of the fun town at Legoland California. In the comments below, let us know what you think. Let us know if you've been here, and let us know obviously what used to be here, because I've learned so much with regards to what the Lego Friends section used to be. So it'd be interesting to see, has this always been here from day one? What has replaced what? Because some of the bits and pieces look new, and obviously some of them have been there a little while. But if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ta-da.